Is anybody talking?
No, not yet. I was just starting the live stream, so.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so if we can't see everybody, maybe Jamie, if we can just do a roll call. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have quorum, so we should do a roll call though, if we can't see everybody.
We will have, yeah, because that will be good for the votes. So on the screen, we can see Harvey and Caitlin. And Alex, I heard your voice. Alex, did I?
Yep.
Hear it? You're right. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Who have I missed?
I'm here too. It's Nicole.
Oh, good. Hi, Nicole. Anybody else?
Krista McCracken and Sarah Walker is here too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Harvey, Caitlin, Nicole, Jamie, Alex, and Sarah from the committee, so that's quorum.
Okay. So we can call to order at 12:05. From the minutes from January 7th meeting. Do I have a mover for the minutes? Harvey's hand is up. No, it isn't. Harvey, are you waving at me?
No,
Would you like to move?
I'll move. It's Nicole.
Oh, thank you. I thought
I'm
Harvey,
sorry, I didn't hear that.
and I need a seconder, please.
Also move.
And Harvey will second, thank you. Do we want anyone opposed?
Yeah, you just ask if it's all in favor.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, you can do all in favor.
Oh, all in favor, please. Except many of you I can't see, so that's a trick.
Yeah, so
If you're opposed, speak now. Okay, is there any agenda item 2, declaration for pecuniary interest? Is there any?
Sorry, it's Caitlin. I don't know if, because my house is in the inspection report, I don't know if that is one or not, but I'll just say it out loud here.
So item.
Okay, Jamie, you need to speak closer to the speaker if you can. So we can hear you.
I'll speak louder, Harvey.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Agenda item 3 is the adoption of the agenda. Virginia wants to move 3 items up to the top of the agenda. So 4.2, 6.1, and 7.2 will be the items we address first.
Yeah, and we're moving them because Alex has to head back, I think, to class at 12:35, so we'll lose quorum at that point. So we need resolution for the other 3 items. So
The result of the agenda for the Municipal Heritage Committee meeting for November 2nd as revised be approved. And I need a mover.
I'll move.
Harvey, a seconder, please.
I'll second.
Is that Alex?
yeah, thanks, Alex.
Very nice. Okay, so then item 4 is still in the rising. I'm sorry, we have not approved. All in favor? And is there anyone opposed? Verbally? No, so we're approved on that one. Great. Okay. So Virginia, can I turn and do some supervising over to you?
So, item 4.2, thank you to, Jamie, you were out with Jamie and Dean went out, along with, one of the members of our building department, Frank, to do the inspections, for the properties. We did have 5 less applications than we have had in the past. So there are less properties that, are being approved, for this particular property tax rebate year. The new owners of the properties had previously been sent applications and information about the program, but did not submit an application to be included as part of it. We also have one owner of a new property, which was formerly in the program. And they have now asked to be part of the program, and that was approved last March with the committee. So 1048 Queen Street is now back in the program where it hadn't been. We hadn't been receiving applications for a number of years. Does anybody have any questions about the inspection report?
Can I ask whether the question under 10 Kensington first, is anyone following up with the property owners?
For 10 Kensington?
Yeah, they want to put in a screen door.
Haven't seen anything. I haven't received anything from 10
They just want to have a conversation about screen door. Do they have to submit something?
Yes, yeah, they would, so if they're doing any changes, they have to submit something. So I haven't received any.
No, they haven't. They're asking questions, so they're not going to submit until the questions are in.
Oh, okay, usually they send me an email just outlining what they need to do, but I can send them a note.
Do you have your email address?
I don't, I'll have to just, what we have on file, so I'll have to send them a note. I don't know if I have them on.
I just don't want this to drop through the crowd. I might have your phone number in my binder.
Yeah,
I still have the binder.
you can send it, you can send it to you, and I'll see what contact information I have on file. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Were there any properties that were questionable for inclusion?
No, actually, I think this was the year that you could see the work that had been done from previous years, and it was all very positive.
Okay, that's fine, thanks.
Our favorite building is the Algonquin Hotel.
If there isn't any further discussions and noting that Caitlin did declare a conflict with this item, the resolution would be resolved that the St. Marie Municipal Heritage Committee endorse the 2022 property inspection report for those designated heritage properties enrolled in the designated heritage property tax rebate program, and that an inspection report and letter be sent to the property owners outlining the recommendations. Based on the results of the property inspections, the Municipal Heritage Committee recommends to City Council that the designated heritage property tax rebate for the 2022 year be paid to the qualified owners of designated heritage properties enrolled in the program. And I need a mover and a seconder.
I'll move. It's Nicole.
I'll second. It's Alex.
Thank you. And all in favor? If there's any objections, please note that. If not, I don't see any noted. Motion carries.
Okay, the next agenda item that we're looking at is 6.1, which is Buchan House. And our package includes some photographs that are pointing at some logs at the bottom of the house. Virginia, did you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so I had an opportunity to speak with Caleb earlier, in October. He's looking at trying to, there's 2 logs that are significantly deteriorated that need to be replaced, which he's noted in the photos. They're 2 of the supporting logs. He's secured somebody who can complete the work, and he was working on finding the right size white pine logs to act as replacements. He also has reached out to our building division with regards to the proper permitting, and right now it's residing with the Municipal Heritage Committee's approval. And then once we have that approval, he can proceed with the work.
So Virginia, with this, would we approve a motion I'm not sure the wording of the motion, that he has our approval to replace the two reading ones?
Yeah, so if there isn't any further questions, the motion would be resolved that the Sault Ste. Marie Municipal Heritage Committee approved the request to replace the two logs, with the white pine logs as indicated in the application. And he actually has the sizes of the logs noted that he requires for this project.
Need a mover for that motion?
I'll move that.
Okay, would you like to share it? Okay, thank you.
I'll second. It's Caitlin.
We have a seconder at the table, so we're.
Second.
Can I do that? I was gonna say,
No.
can I?
Yeah, no, that was, so Alex and Caitlin.
Wasn't sure.
Oh, sorry. Do we,
Yeah, so I will,
call for approval of that motion?
Yeah.
Do we have any verbal objections to that motion? Okay, great.
yeah, so that's carried. So I will reach out to Caleb and let him know that the committee's approved it, as well as our building division, to let them know that we are in favor of him proceeding with that situation.
Great.
Oh, sure. Yeah, if you can be on that.
Okay, so the next agenda item is 7.2. And the Legion's asking for a letter of support.
So I can give some background information. So the Legion is working on a grant application to do some restoration and cleaning of the cenotaph. So previously the committee had approved some funding to do the cleaning work on the cenotaph, because there's some staining that's happening from the bronze statue. There's additional work that also needs to be completed. They have some concerns with the lettering. So the lead lettering is actually falling out of the names. I've been working with them trying to look at options for lettering. We can no longer obtain the lead that's required to do that type of lettering work. So the grant that they're applying for, because it's a fairly extensive project, is to the Community War Memorial Fund, which is the same granting agency that provided funding for the Memorial Tower previously. What they're hoping to do, so the main part of the application is to, again, clean and help restore. So the municipal heritage contribution that we make to that work is helping them leverage this grant. They want to wax and seal and waterproof the statue. That way it'll help prevent any of that bronze from leaching into the granite portion of the base. There are some names that they would like to have added. So they're looking at engraving up to 45 names. And those include veterans from the First and Second World War that need to be added, as well as Afghanistan and some other conflicts. So they're working through that process of identifying those individuals to the tab. And one of the other things is they want to create and install a black granite laser etched on a stainless steel frame to have in front of the cenotaph component there on a more permanent basis. So that would be out front of it. Right now they lay the wreaths on a regular basis, but they're looking to have a more permanent installation. They do have letters of support from the Branch 25 Poppy Fund, Lock City Monuments, and Southland Developments assisting. And they're looking for the Municipal Heritage Committee to write a letter of support for their grant application. So assuming that there are no issues, we'll prepare a letter of support saying we're in favor of it. And then we would send that off because the grant deadline is coming up very quickly.
Questions?
Also move if you want to
Or
make a motion.
a motion, Virginia?
I will write one. Okay, so resolve that the Sault Ste. Marie Municipal Heritage Committee provide a letter of support to the Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 25, in support of the Community War Memorial Grant.
Okay. And Harvey, have you moved?
Yeah, I'll move.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second. It's Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. There we go. All in favor? Are there any verbal opposed votes for that motion? So it has carried, Virginia?
Carried.
Carried.
All right, I will get that letter out to them this afternoon.
Do you sign it or do I sign it?
I will just put it on behalf of the
Oh, okay,
Municipal Heritage Committee.
okay. All right, going back to the agenda, under Business Horizon, we have an update on 119 Woodward and the yard lock, Virginia.
So the report went to council on September 19th for both 119 Woodward and the yard locker. At just prior to the city council meeting, the owner of the yard locker just requested that the application be pulled from that council meeting and put on hold for the time being. So that was done. 119 Woodward is moving forward. So they're going through the notification period. So letters have been sent to the property owners, and they've also going through the notification process where they have to advertise. So the advertisements have been out. That part of the designation process is run through the legal department. They've notified the trust, and the second notification period is coming to an end. So once that's done, then they'll move forward with the next step of finalizing the designation.
Okay. And for the, if there's no discussion, hi Sean, welcome. 4.3 is the Heritage Award.
So we did advertise the Heritage Award a couple times. The press release was sent out. We didn't receive any new applications for the Heritage Award. So I don't know if we wanted to look at extending the deadline and doing another call out, or if there is any. I didn't receive any that were brought forward for consideration from committee members, or if we just want to put it on hold for this year and wait till next year to advertise again.
Could you refresh my memory on what the nominations were in the previous that we didn't act on last year?
So we did have applications last year. The new application doesn't even have to be submitted each year.
Oh, okay.
So those are not carried forward. We had one application for a building and 2 applications for individuals, which would fall under the faculty. So yeah, so I'm not sure if the committee wanted to put some consideration into potential nominations that could be brought forward for the next meeting for consideration. And then they could be discussed at that meeting, or
I think it'd be nice if we could sort of do that, like either extend it or like we bring forth nominations, just because we didn't have something last year sort of thing. So it'd be sort of nice if we could do something this year, hopefully.
we could send out a call out with if that's the desire of the committee, and put a date of November 20th. That gives a few weeks for people to consider putting an application forward, as well as committee members if they have something that they'd like to have considered for nomination. And we can just do another advertising blitz and extend it.
So if I wanted to bring one forward, I would look to last year's documentation and just repeat it, or?
If you want to bring the board, yeah.
Okay.
So is that,
From 2 years ago, I forget.
is the committee in an agreement, then we extend and do another advertising blitz? Okay, great, we will. Sorry, just get it the calendar. I could extend it to like the 21st of November, like it was 3 weeks almost.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we're moving on to number 5, which is subcommittee task forces. So it's 5 point, well, it should be probably 6.1. 5.1, sorry, doors open. And I spent last night, I summarized the survey into a Word document and sent it to people. And it had we had about 52 surveys and lots of comments, which were really interesting. I love the one, there was obviously one from a young person that I like the basement. My brother likes the basement. My mother likes the basement. My sister likes the upstairs. Oh, my dad likes the basement. Anyway, obviously the old stone house was a big hit. And I heard, raves about the volunteers that were at the site. So it was, every site was a different experience. I think it was really interesting. I got into the precious blood at the end of the day and Bishop first. And all the volunteers had amazing stories about the people that were coming through the door and the comments that were being made. And does anybody have any comments about the survey data or the event?
I think
It's
the
Alex.
attendance.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thanks,
Alex.
Arby. I was just saying, yeah, I got a chance to look through that survey data. It seemed like some of the accessibility barriers were finding the information, not just on social media. So people that didn't have social media felt like they missed out. That's what I took from it. I know it was posted other places.
Yeah, I think the attendance was disappointing, really. There's a lot of effort put into it for relatively few people at each site. I think that goes back to a couple of things. One is, as Matt says, the advertisement, which was not aimed at the older crowd. What I suggest isn't much. The only thing I can suggest are posters that could have been put around town, but I'm sorry, the social media does not meet the mark for older crowd. So I was feeling a little badly for the Ofri people because they had 4 or 5 people out there and we didn't have very good attendance. And some of the people that did come were actually family members of the people that were helping out. So the numbers are a bit skewed in that regard.
Yeah.
Well, I think, I think there was so much going on that weekend too, that people just didn't get a chance to go because there was so many different events going on that it was just to pick and choose what to go to.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel that, like, I was a member of the subcommittee and I didn't feel I had any input as to the date. It was all determined by 1 or 2 people. And I don't think it was well thought out. So, we had to drop from 2 days to 1 day, and we're competing with a whole lot of other events. So somehow we have to look ahead.
Yeah, the original idea was to tie it in with Ontario Culture Days, but I think that might have worked against us in the end. And then I'm not sure why we didn't aim at a Saturday and a Sunday, like why we picked Friday, Saturday. There was a comment in here that it should be a 2-day event.
I think some of that boils down to resources. I mean, we were struggling right to the very last minute to even get volunteers to work at the locations. So trying to spread that over 2 days becomes a real resource challenge for all of us. In addition to the social media that Nicole worked hard on, it was on the Culture Days website. It was on the Ontario Heritage, on the Doors Open website. There was newspaper articles about the event.
Which is one.
But it was in the newspaper.
Yeah, do we do a press release?
But people don't look at those things till the last minute. I had several people come and say, oh, I wish I'd known about this sooner. You know, I wanted to do a whole lot of things. I don't have time. I even had a lady come when I was taking the sign down at the end of the day. Oh, you had an open house today? I didn't know about it. I was at another event. I don't know. I don't think the message got out. It's got to be on radio. It's got to be in print, posters. You know, the Sioux Today one was good. It was a good article, but probably could have been a week earlier so that people could plan a bit more too. But we can't afford to be competing with a lot of other events at the same day. I don't think.
It's been an event in a long time either, right? Like this event had, wasn't it like a 2-year gap or something since the last one? So I think even just having one, hopefully next year will be a little more steam coming with kind of just the people that did participate, hopefully.
The other part too, we were working within the budget that we had. As soon as you get into radio, you're a minimum $1,000 to start running your radio ads. You know, if you're doing a radio campaign. So again, you know, there's budgetary constraints that we were working within.
I know Lou Turkle. I could have called him up and he would have promoted it on the US radio station that everybody listens to. Yeah, I agree that media is a problem here because it's so fragmented. I don't know how you get to everybody because they're listening or seeing different things. There is a community TV channel. Was it? I don't think it was put on there.
I did talk to, I got a lot
Saw
of,
cable.
I got CBC, Jonathan Pinto, I think is his name on the afternoon program. And he
Right.
wanted to come and he couldn't get a hotel room. He was that excited about it that he would have attended if he could have gotten a hotel room that weekend.
Mm.
And we did it on the morning north. It was a community announcement. Yeah, but it was hit or miss. I agree.
I mean, I laud your effort. I mean, you put a tremendous amount of effort in it, which I just didn't have the time to do. But
Yeah,
well, I think we needed more discussion about how it could have been made better known to people. So.
no chicken.
What happened to the videos or the stuff that they were filming?
I know. I googled around last night and looked on their Facebook page and their website, and I still don't see it. And they were going to tell me when they, yeah, and they have lots of channels, and you can see, you know, the video work that they do, but I don't see the Sioux one. But David was telling me they're planning on filming at every Doors Open site, and it's going forward. So.
They probably, with the events that were going on, it probably takes some time for the editing process too, because they're going to take that footage and edit it down, right? Which is time consuming. So
Yeah,
I imagine we'll see something in the future.
But then that
and they only got to 3 sites. The machine shop. And I don't even think they went into the machine shop with the camera. And then they went into the conservatory and the old stuff house. And we were going to do Precious Blood, but we ran out of time. So anyway, I would love to be involved. I thought it was great. I almost felt that. Well, anyway, if we had, you know, there'd be another subcommittee and another discussion. But you know, yeah, I could make up a list of things that I thought like lessons learned.
And the other part, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I guess the only other suggestion I have is I think we tried to do too many sites at once. People can't get around to them all and, spend the time they would like at each one, especially if there's a guided tour. By the time they arrive, take the tour and leave, it's an hour gone and, they got to get to the next site. So there's not going to get to that many in one day.
Well, and you can also pick a theme if you wanted to, whether it's, anyway, but the list became quite long. And I found that I heard that only 4 people filled in the survey online using the QR code. So that's another indicator that the online stuff isn't working for this demographic possibly. Anyway.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I do have to go in a minute. Agenda item 8 with the reapplication of committee members. Is that application available yet?
I haven't seen it come from the clerk's department yet. It should be coming out very soon. They're just wrapping up election, everything from the election. So it will be during the month of November, those applications will come out. But as soon as they're available, I'll let committee members know that where they're available.
Okay,
Thanks, Alex.
so that was 6.2 with that. Okay, so we're finished the doors open. We've covered off the Municipal Heritage Committee applications. Do you have any correspondence, Virginia?
Just the information that we received on the proposed changes to the Ontario Heritage Act. There's a summary in your application, which was taken directly from the provincial government website regarding the changes. So there's a number of changes to various pieces of legislation, but this is the summary relating to the Ontario Heritage Act. So Tony and I had a chance to meet this morning and had a bit of a discussion about the impacts of some of the changes. Tony's, if you haven't been in a meeting before, Tony's the representative from planning, and she's got a lot of background when it comes to the Planning Act. And so I'm very excited to have her on board. Peter is still going to be involved as well, but with his new position, our new representative. So yeah, so a couple of the pieces do impact the Heritage Register as well as Heritage designation process and the requirements to meet to meet the standard to be designated. So one of the big changes that is potentially coming is that properties that are on the Heritage Register will be removed 2 years after the time this legislation. So they can have a maximum amount of time on the register, we understand. So if they're not designated, then they will be removed from the register and cannot be relisted for a period of 5 years.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So that's on the 3rd page of the document that I provided, where it talks about removal from register and the various scenarios for that. Also, the standard for listing something on the register is increasing. So in order to have it on the register, it has to meet the prescribed criteria that are outlined for determining cultural heritage value or interest. So it has to meet at least one or more of the criteria to be included before you can put something on the register and not have as much background. So I'm not sure how that's going to roll out, but it must meet the criteria in order criteria. And then one of the other changes is previously a designation only needed to meet one criteria. Now you're going to have to meet 2 or more of the criteria as outlined in order to designate a property. Tony, did you have anything to add? Did you have a chance to look at it as well? Or
I think you kind of covered what I grabbed as well. Yeah.
So the reality is that a registered property would eventually within 2 years have to become designated.
If it can meet two criteria.
Yeah.
If it can't meet the two
And if it
criteria.
doesn't, and then the council has to issue a notice of extension to everything. Wow. So this, what is this MCM? Is this the Ministry of?
More home, I think it's the more homes. Wait, MCM.
I thought it was Ministry of Citizenship and something, but I couldn't figure out why they were. Ministry that was citizenship and multicultural. Why is it that ministry that's company? What happened?
Oh, no, I totally get it.
Minister of Citizenship and Multiculturalism.
You would think.
Which has, what do they have to do with
cultures?
heritage? I know, yeah, you would think that.
I don't know. I totally don't know.
Okay. So I heard there's something that went through second reading yesterday. No homes, no pasture.
So the committee knows there is a heritage planning network that we get correspondence from. So a lot of the heritage planners are reviewing the legislation and looking at providing comments and that related to this act. That's how we receive some of these updates. Work.
Did you get clarification on the administrative involvement?
That's true to the, yeah, Ministry of well, I think that's where it's posted by, so that's where it's coming from.
Okay.
So I don't know how long it'll take for them to pass the actual legislation. There's different parts, or there's different components. I think there's about 10 different that are out there. So anything this one had an emergency to provide comments back.
Oh, wow. They have a 90-day timeline for issuing an NOID. That would be a lot of work to put that through. How many properties do we have registered at the moment? About 30?
Over 30.
Over 30.
Yeah.
Wow. That would be a lot of work to push that through council. Assuming that we meet the new criteria.
Correct.
Right.
And it's two of the criteria, or we'll
Right.
write two of the criteria.
Criteria is up to you.
We're stringent.
Right. Okay. So I think this will come forward on future agendas. So that is that to the end of our agenda then? 7.2 we've already covered.
Yeah.
Is there any new business from committee members? We don't have it on the agenda, but I could take that. If anyone wants to bring it forward. So then normally, Virginia, when did the appointments get made for boards and committees? Is it January or?
January will be the start of the new term. So everybody on the committee, the term is up as of December 31st of this year. So even if you started and you've only been on the committee for 1 year, all terms expire at the same time and the new process will start. So anybody interested in reapplying, regardless of when you joined this committee, has to reapply during the application process.
So we will meet in December then?
Yes, yeah, the committee's still formed until the end of this year.
Okay. Do you want to?
Can I ask a question? Sorry, it's Caitlin.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, is there a possibility to renegotiate the times of the meetings for the next term or of this committee, I guess? Like, would that be something that could be available in January, I guess?
It could be up for discussion, but the time that the committees meet is generally outlined for the application process. So that's where it gets to be, you don't know who's going to apply and what their timeframes are. So it does, like the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meets the first Tuesday at 4:30 of every month. That's
Okay.
I believe is shared when people are applying for committees. But
Okay.
yeah, and then it would just be looking at changing, I'd have to double check the terms of reference. Some of them specifically state the frequency, the time and the date, like when the committees are meeting. So, but those adjustments potentially can be made if everybody is in favor of making those changes. So it is something that can be looked at.
Okay.
But we generally post the time when people are considering different committees.
Okay. Thank you.
So then our next meeting will be December 7th.
December 7th, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, Jamie, I have my hand up, sorry.
Sorry, Sean, I didn't.
No worries. I just wanted to let everybody know that I won't be reapplying for appointment to the Municipal Heritage Committee for next year, just because of workload issues on my end. You've likely noticed that I haven't been able to attend a lot of the meetings this year. And I just wanted to express, first of all, what a joy it's been working with all of you when I have been able to attend, not just meetings, but also subcommittee work and volunteering with all of you. Jamie, especially, I want to single out for just the fun times we've had over the years. And for everybody here, I just want to emphasize how much I've learned from you and how grateful I am that I've been able to serve with you, and that I'm sorry I haven't been able to be pulling more of the weight this past year. That said, I'm not moving. I look forward to seeing you all in regular community interactions, and hope I get to connect with each of you. Those folks who are new to the committee this year, I'm just blown away by all of you, and I'm so excited for the future of the committee. I hope that you continue on with your applications for next year, because the work that you've been doing is tremendous. And I know that we always take this critical lens to what we do to improve continually, but know that the work you're doing is fantastic, and it's so great to see being pulled together. That's all.
Oh, Sean, that was so beautifully said. I'm going to have to say the same thing. I'm going to step back for this next 4-year cycle. However, I might be available as a volunteer on the Doors Open Committee. Only if Harvey joins me, but yeah, we have some amazing people on this committee, and I salute all the new members, because during this COVID cycle, it has been so difficult to, I would imagine, get a grip on what on earth is going on in this agenda, what all the subcommittees are, and we don't actually ever meet each other. It makes it really awkward. But I think in the early days, Sean and I were on every committee. We were in every car going out to tour sites and everything, and it was really a lot of fun, and I did learn a lot. And I'm still learning every day. So, and I love this work. I just can't. I'm on 3 boards, and I can't do that right now. So, but I appreciate it. It's been an honor to be chair of this committee for this one time. Great group of people. I'm gonna miss you guys. Yeah, I miss you guys too. So recruit your friends and neighbors to join this committee. I gave a pitch to the Coalition of Algoma Passenger Rail people at their annual meeting about a week ago that I was presenting, believe it or not, on a topic that I know even less about than most people at that meeting. But anyway, that was fun too. So it's all been really a lot of fun. So hopefully the spirit of volunteerism will carry on. So should we adjourn? That's the word, call for adjournment.
I'll move. It's Nicole.
Nicole, did you want to say something?
Oh, no, I just said like I would motion.
Oh, you're making, oh, good, to adjourn. Sounds like a plan. Moved by Nicole. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible chair. You need to fire me and move on. Do we have a seconder for adjournment? Sean, last word on the agenda today, Sean. Everyone approved, I imagine. There are no verbal objections or carried. Great.